All right, welcome everyone. Ron Denny is going to lead us in the invocation, the Pledge of Allegiance, and to recite the four-way test. Ron is with the Denny Realty Group, past president, and a 18-year Rotarian. Ron? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, President Joel. Let's pray. Our Father, we just thank you again for this day. We just thank you for your love, your mercy that you bestow upon each and every one of us. We just thank you for President Joel and his leadership through this difficult and trying time this past year. We just want to lift him up and just pray a special blessing upon him and his team as they take us to the finish line. We're excited to see live individuals here at Rotary Meeting today. We're just excited about the opportunity to once again gather together and as a full Rotary group and just celebrate not only what you provide for us, but what we're able to give back to our community and around the world. We pray just bless the speaker now as they present, that we'll get something from that and be able to take that and apply it. We also thank you for this meal that you provided and bless it to our bodies. We pray these things in thy name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And let's recite the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you, Ron. Based on that prayer, I'm guessing you're a Baptist. All right, at this time, we're going to do our introduction of guests and visiting Rotarians. Our own Fred is going to walk around the room, and then we'll do online next.
Okay, do we have anybody with a guest today? Oh. This is good. I get my 1,000 steps in.
Good afternoon. I have today Ryan McKellum with me from International Diamond Center again, but this should be his close to last time as my guest since he submitted his application for membership. So,
Welcome, Ryan.
Thanks, Fred. I have two guests today. Andrew Troller with Good Intents Marketing, who's showing up a little bit late, and Scott Headley with Headley Insurance.
Welcome. Anybody else with a guest? Okay. And I think online we have our good friend Doug McCall from Wallasey, England. Who else?
I have that I know of. I have three guests today. Well, Kirsten, my daughter, is a guest. And then online, I have Marissa Green with the Polk County school system. And I have my sister-in-law from Tallahassee, Florida, Lana Ford. And maybe, I can't tell, but maybe I have my sister from Herndon, Virginia, Marilyn Crowther. Thank you.
Again, welcome. Anyone else? Welcome all.
Fred, do you have a good idea of how many people we have here still? About the same for a quorum?
I'll count.
All right, well, let's do Happy Dollars then. Happy Dollars are going to be Dr. Mike Loudon. So we'll do, let's do online first and give them a shot at it.
This is from my days as a Shriner. Who's happy online? Anybody online happy? All of you people online are depressed. Who's happy online? Who's happy here? Oh, there's many people happy here. That'll be $50.
I am very happy today. My youngest grandson.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I have 50 happy dollars. I had the privilege to go up and commission Second Lieutenant George Madden. He graduated from West Point this past Saturday, and so that was a great honor. They were able to have a full graduation, full attendance, and it was just a beautiful day. And he is now one of our newest Army Second Lieutenants, and he is a Lakeland High School kid, Lakeland High School grad.
Awesome, absolutely awesome. Awesome.
Anybody else happy?
This is self-centered happiness. I'm happy to be here in person again. Had my shots. I'm becoming social. This is $20 for at least 20 meetings I missed.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. And we're happy you're here. Oh. When?
So I'm gonna put on my credit card or on my debit card online today. Yeah. So we're midweek of birthday week for my husband and I and our oldest, who will be 14 on Sunday. And so collectively we're around $100. So I'll donate that today.
Awesome. Awesome. Anybody else happy? Oh, Julie, are you happy? No, she's never happy. Is anybody snarky? Oh, Julie. Brock?
I'm happy for the sunshine out here. We've had all of our shots now, so this is getting, it'll be great now. Thank you.
Super. Super. Thank you, Brock. Okie dokie, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Mike. Appreciate that. This time we're going to take a break. We're having a check to make sure that we have a quorum. It looks like that we do. Fred, are you comfortable with calling this a quorum?
I have an online count and in person count, we are about 65, so that's quorum.
Okay, so about 65 people, we have a quorum. We have submitted a couple of times some bylaws changes that we're trying to get put into place. I don't know, Nate, if anybody's going to have any more questions about what we've already talked about. We're trying to change the way that we do our voting for board of directors to make sure we're focusing on the people that are, number one, willing to serve and willing to put their name on a list in order to serve, as opposed to just having a full slate of every single member, with a lot of these folks not really even wanting to serve in that capacity. So we are making a fairly significant change to that, but I think it's one that's necessary. We're also changing the financials so that Julie has a whole lot more power than she does right now today. I know. I'm not sure I like it either, but she made me do it. No, it's actually some common sense changes that we're trying to take advantage of the fact that we can do a lot more electronic bill paying and things like that these days than in the past. So it does streamline the bill paying system quite a bit. So at this time, I would entertain any questions or concerns from the membership regarding the bylaws changes, and I will be asking for a vote. If you have something online, please put it in the chat box and Beth can relay it to us. We hear crickets. Okay, this is a difficult way to do a club vote. So what I'm going to ask for is, by exception, if you think that you absolutely cannot stand for these changes in the bylaws, raise your hands or submit a no in the chat box. You got 10 seconds. No is N-O, just in case. We have no hands in here. Beth, do you have anything in the chat box?
I do not.
Okay. We're going to say that the motion carries and these bylaws changes will go forward. So thank you all for participating in that. Now we can move into the 25,000 announcements. The Rotary Cares a Ton Challenge. Irma, are you online? Yeah. Oh. Irma snuck in the back door. This is what we call a moment with Irma. Get used to it.
Are you tired of me yet? Hi, everybody. So actually, I was going to start. I'll do Rotary Cares a Ton first. So the district total right now, we have beat the goal, which was 50 tons. We are at 58.5 tons for the district. Yeah, that's pretty good. Our club has just reached 7,705 pounds with 21 of you participating. We still have time to get in on this. So all you need to do is donate stuff and give me the weight. And that's all you need to do. It's that simple. The deadline is midnight, May 31st, and then it's all done. The top 10 clubs in no particular order because our chairman wants it to be a secret for the last week or so, are Bartow, Brandon, New Tampa, Fishhawk, Riverview, Lake Wales Breakfast, Tampa, Winter Haven, Sun City Center, Temple Terrace, and us. Yes, we are in the top 10. Moving on, I do want to acknowledge our STARS project, which we worked last Saturday morning at the College Showy Boys and Girls Club trailer, which is behind the Crystal Lake Elementary School. John Lout, Anna Gillespie, DG Mark, and myself did some weeding and trimming, picked up trash. We set up the basketball hoop with a new base that we bought for them. We sprayed weed killer, organized the storage shed, replaced a front door light bulb, replaced chair cushions, and a whole bunch of other stuff. One of our members, Andrea Morgan, came late and the place was all locked up, but she took some paint and spray painted the bike rack. So we made an impression there. And she's going to go back and paint the benches at another time. I also want to acknowledge some community volunteers who have volunteered to go back and cut down 3 trees. And that would be Billy Pearsall from Central Florida Tree Care. If you need any trees cutting, call him. And also David Norris from Health Markets Insurance has volunteered some of his people to go out and replace the skirting on the trailer. So thanks to both of them. We had intended to power wash the concrete slab and the deck and the steps, but their power washer somehow ended up in Winter Haven instead of Lakeland, so we couldn't do that. Otherwise, our service there is complete, and thank you to the STARS class.
Irma. Don't forget the annual dinner is coming up June 22nd. If you're waiting for a really nice looking invitation to get one, you're going to get an email. So it has to be electronic in this day and time, whether we want to or not. So be looking for that. It's going to be June 22nd at Lone Palm. Thank you, Todd, for putting this all together for us. Team Trivia Night is this Thursday. It's Thursday. Okay, at 6 o'clock. Keith, is that right here? 6 o'clock right here at 1916. So bring your teams, bring yourself. I think Jack said if you don't have a team, you can get paired up with somebody if you like. Bring your significant. I don't know that it matters. Just come out and have a good time in true Rotary fashion. Are there any other announcements that I've missed? Julie, are you satisfied? No, wait a second. I do need to say this. If you missed the opportunity to pay today or last time like I did, because we had to do it a different way. I get with Julie. She's got her square. And she can take her payment. So Julie, okay, she's right there. Right. So and she knows who you are. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. So any other announcements? All right. At this time, I'd like to ask our own Stacy Campbell Domineck to come up and introduce our very special guest. More special to her than probably anybody else on the planet, I would bet. Stacy is the CEO of Career Source Polk. She's on our board of directors, and Stacy is a 3-year Rotarian. So Stacy, please do the introduction.
Thank you. So it is my pleasure to introduce, let me see what this name is. Kirsten Taylor Domineck. She is my 16-year-old daughter. She is a 10th grade student at George Jenkins High School. She's a member of the National Honor Society. She sings, she dances, she doesn't dance. She plays piano and violin, and she reads the Bible, studies the Bible from sunup to sundown. And that should say something about what she's thinking about our household, that she needs that much Bible reading. Anyway, Kirsten, thank you.
Can you guys hear me? Oh, yeah. Can you guys hear me now? Okay. Good afternoon. I would like to thank you all for giving me this opportunity to speak to you and discuss how COVID-19 has impacted me. But first, to clear the air, I, Kirsten Domineck, daughter of Stacy Campbell Domineck and James Domineck, have received on my 16th birthday the COVID vaccination shot. So I'm halfway there. Thank you. Now that I've gotten that off my chest, I will be addressing 4 points on how COVID-19 has impacted me. These are my education, my motivation, my social life, and my home situation. Education. It all started in March of 2020. There I was thinking I was just going to go on my spring break and do my usual activities, Netflix and sleep, then come back to school to finish out the year. But boy, was I wrong. After spring break, weeks went by and going back to school seemed to move further away from review mirror. As it became certain that we were not going back to in-person school, we finished the year by using Microsoft Teams. At that time, it wasn't the best, but it worked for the last few months. Moving into summer, my routine of staying home was pretty much the same as usual, except the occasional traveling to other states, making plans with friends, or going to amusement parks. And since my basketball coaches were determined to keep practicing over the summer, they did whatever they could to continue practice by following the COVID guidelines, such as temperature checks, asking questions about our health, and wearing masks when we were not playing on the court. As the 2020 to 2021 school year was coming up, it was announced that students had to choose between virtual learning, like Florida Virtual, e-learning, or in-person school. This was a somewhat hard decision for me to make because most of my friends were going to in-person school. But I, as well as my parents, felt more comfortable with e-learning because we didn't know how bad it could be and didn't want to take the risk. So with that decision, we transformed one of my brother's rooms into my personal office. Sorry, Jordan. And got ready for a year full of who knows what was to come. After the first few months, it all went well because I stayed on top of my assignments, chatted with friends through text and Zoom, and went to basketball practice, virtual piano practice, and other activities that continued even with the pandemic on the rise. My experience with e-learning started out great, but over time, I got frustrated with internet issues, having to wait on responses from my teachers, which I understand because they have to answer over 200 emails and grade numerous papers a day. But I also did not enjoy having teachers that did both in-school and e-learning at the same time because they paid most of their attention to in-person students. But again, I understand because this was new to everybody. So I learned to go with it. Another thing that changed was my attitude during e-learning because as school went on, I missed the interaction between friends, classmates, and teachers. Motivation. Behind every project, there is a motivated mind to get whatever needs to be done finished. With this pandemic taking over my mind, my motivation to do things such as school, playing piano, going to basketball practice, and doing regular activities decreased over time. Days went by, then came weeks and months, but to me, I'm sure many others, it felt as though every day was the same. And it got to the point that I didn't even know what day or month it was. I honestly couldn't tell you whether it was the beginning or the end of the month, let alone what day it was. With my own motivation, even the easiest school assignments that were due at the end of the week were hard for me to get done because I didn't feel like doing it or didn't feel the need to it. Of course, I completed them because I'm obsessed with good grades, but let me just say it wasn't easy to get started. My parents even wondered whether I had school or not because every now and then I would walk to and from the kitchen or their bedroom because I was bored out of my mind. We can all agree that by following the same routine day by day, we get bored and start thinking, what is the point? How long do I have to do this for? Is this really worth getting out of bed? This is the kind of mindset I experienced, which led me into sadness, procrastination, and losing focus on the blessings God has given me. Instead of being thankful that I wasn't sick to the point that I couldn't do anything, I complained a lot in my head. This in return decreased my motivation and made me a negative person. This cycle would have continued if I didn't pay attention to the news that my parents watched religiously during this time, because when I saw the amount of people dying and experiencing COVID-19, I realized that I had nothing to complain about. Being blessed to have a roof over my head, food on my table, a good health, amazing family members, and great teachers, what exactly do I have to complain about? Yes, it is hard to get certain activities done when we are unmotivated, but if we all stop doing our work, nothing would be completed. I'm not saying I'm the most productive person because of this pandemic, but from this experience, I learned that when we have the time to do our work, we have to push aside our laziness, finish the assignment we've been procrastinating on for 2 weeks now. Then we can spend time on the couch watching our favorite actors and celebrities. Social life. The next point I would like to address is my social life. This is funny to me due to the fact that I'm an introvert and spend most of my time watching The Office. So you won't see me dancing at a party anytime soon. Just ask my mom. She tries to make me dance in the car, and trying to do this is like lifting a 4,000-pound car from one place to another. But with quarantine lasting over a year and not attending in-person school, I truly miss seeing my friends every day and experiencing the weird events that happen at my school, such as hearing inside jokes that don't make any sense, or watching my orchestra peers climb into a trash can. Please don't ask. Before the coronavirus, I was able to go to the movies, perform in chorus and orchestra concerts, go to amusement parks, and plan activities with family and friends without worrying about the virus or wearing masks for long periods of time. This was a big part of my social life because now I don't see family and friends as much as I used to. Of course, we can text and FaceTime, but as we all know, it isn't the same. It really hit hard when the holidays came around because that is when I see my family the most, especially Christmas and Thanksgiving, where we cook, watch each other open gifts, give hugs, crack jokes on one another, and play numerous games. Thankfully, I got to have my brothers around for the holidays, but I missed the house being super loud because my uncles, aunts, cousins, and occasional friends that come over to get that delicious fried turkey and brisket my dad makes every year. Now, will I be an extrovert from now on due to this pandemic? I highly doubt it, but every chance I get to be with family and friends, it will be a lot more meaningful than before. And who knows, maybe you will see me dancing in public instead of my bedroom mirror. The last point I'll be making is home situation. Again, being the introvert I am, I loved staying home at the beginning of quarantine. But as the weeks got longer and bothering my parents didn't seem fun anymore, I grew tired of staying in the house from sunup to sundown. You know, it is sad when getting dressed up to go to the local grocery store puts a smile on your face and makes your day 10 times better. And it's not like I could go anywhere else because I'm still in school, but waking up around 5:30 to catch the bus and get to school beats waking up at 6:40 and staring at my laptop until 2. With the constant cycle of just sitting in my office chair till school is out, I procrastinate a lot with my work and grew bored very quickly because of all the electronics that were around me, snacks from the kitchen calling my name, and finding other things to do. Even though I was safer inside my home away from the possibility of getting corona, I missed so much from school and got lazy over time. Also, my parents may not want to admit it, but they grew tired of me bothering them throughout the day. Although I am seeing a lot of negative impacts that came from this pandemic, there were also some positives. For instance, learning how to cook, meeting new family members through Zoom, thanks to my Auntie Marilyn, cleaning more, reading, and growing in faith. With all the COVID cases and unsettling events that occurred in 2020, it was especially hard to stay positive, but in a way, it brought me closer to God. Because through all of this, it shows that time on earth is not promised, but it is a gift, and the more we put our trust in the one who created us, the more peace and love we have. We also see that through all the ugly that is spiraling out of control, there is greater on the other side. In closing, the pandemic did have an impact on me, especially in 2020, for my education, motivation, social life, and home situation. There were some negatives, but there were also some positives. I could say that 2020 was the worst year because of the awful pandemic, but from all of this, I learned many valuable lessons and became more grateful for all that I have. Overall, looking back to now, I can't really complain because God has truly blessed my family from who knows what troubles we could have faced. There were and are many people going through bad situations that are hard to deal with. So when I wake up in the morning with a beating heart and parents to wish me a good day, I count my blessings and thank God for putting me in the circumstances I am in now. My hope for the future is getting back to the interaction like we used to, and also keeping in mind that the moments we share are a lot more meaningful than what we think. I want to thank you all again for listening to my speech, and I hope you enjoyed because I enjoyed speaking to you. Oh, yeah.
So the first question is, did your mom approve this speech?
I don't think she read it, but I hope she did. Oh, could you repeat the question? After high school, I hope to go into the medical field, but I would like to go to UF, University of Florida, but anywhere that has a good medical program because I want to become a pediatrician or a nurse.
You're a sophomore now. Right?
Yes, I'm a sophomore. Yes.
Kirsten, I think it's very important what you said today because I have 9 grandchildren, and it was interesting watching their journey through this experience. One of my grandsons was quite bright, did lousy on Zoom. I mean, he couldn't get motivated. Whereas one of the other grandchildren did great and got straight A's. So really, some just can't be self-motivated. Some have to be class. The other thing is, my wife is a substitute teacher, and she would come home. She would substitute for like 3 days, and half the kids would be on Zoom, and half the kids in class. Said it's very difficult for her to help the kids on Zoom because she wrapped up class. So when she was saying something about
yes.
It was very frustrating. So it's been a year. And then we had other kids that were in Ohio that were in a hybrid system where the whole school would be on Zoom on Monday, and then half would go on Tuesday and Thursday, half would go on Wednesday and Friday, and then the other half at that time. So it's been nuts.
Oh yes.
Can you repeat everything he just said?
Yes.
Do you think that telemarketing and technology will continue as you grow older and move into the active work and professional work? Do you think that'll be one of your and other colleagues of yours technology that you'll use after pandemic?
I think we're going to learn to use it as an alternative if we're not able to meet. Hopefully we'll get back into regular interaction, but by using Zoom, Microsoft Teams, we're able to see what we can do as an alternative. So maybe, I believe so, yes.
Any really uncomfortable questions while Stacy's in the room?
Yes.
Were there any
Aware of anybody that was sick?
We would get phone calls every day for George Jenkins High School that there was like a COVID case, and they would tell us that there's been an active COVID case and the persons around them would be home. But out of all my friends, some family members had COVID, but out of my friends, nobody had COVID.
So let's ask Beth. You got the microphone. Beth, is there anybody online that would have questions?
I don't see any questions, Kirsten, but they went on to just say what a wonderful job you did. It says, great job, so insightful and well-spoken. I loved your message and resonates with all of us.
Thank you.
Very nice. You're a bright young woman. Our mayor, Bill Mutt, said, what a marvelously succinct summary of a broad variety of emotions and experiences with crystallized many students' COVID experiences. Great speech. Thank you for being with us today. Excellent perspective on this pandemic. So you just got lots and lots of positives, and you did a beautiful job.
Thank you.
That wasn't your mom, because I saw she wasn't typing. that was all legit. Okay, hearing no more questions. Kirsten, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we're going to thank our guests and visiting Rotarians, Doug McCall, Marissa, great to almost see you. Jeff, was it Lauren? Lauren Ford? I missed that. Ryan, Scott, and Andrew, thank you all for joining us today. It's great to see most of you again for multiple times. Our weekly quote, children are 1/3 of our population and 100% of our future. Our next week's meeting is Zoom only. If you haven't paid Julie, she's probably going to tackle you on your way out the door. So make sure you get the chance to stop by. And I'm one of them, by the way. So let's make sure we get these bills paid. Past President Carroll, can I see you after this too? Thank you. Yes, sir. Joel? Yeah, thank you, Joel. So the question is, have we made any contact with the church and trying to get back in? The answer is yes. We've been in touch with them for the past probably month and a half to 2 months. They are looking at the prospects anywhere from mid-June on. We're thinking it might be July. We're not real sure, but we'll let you know. If we do get back, there's going to be some rules around, the re-engagement of that too. So we're trying to work through all those as we speak. They're being cautious, and that's their right, and I think they should. So at this point, don't plan on anything earlier than July. So when Nate starts his reign of terror, he's going to step in as if nothing ever happened. It's totally not going to be fair, I'm telling you. All right. Any other questions or comments? Fantastic. Absent any protests to the contrary, then we will call this meeting adjourned. Thank you all. Have a great week.